It's 7 p.m. Friday. It's 95 degrees. You ain't outside, and that's a problem for me. Listen, channeling my inner gorilla. Till I'm ready. Till I'm ready to be on the track. If you are anxious, attached, or avoidant girly, you got to be outside. You got to date. You cannot heal in isolation and then go outside and date. And I know that may feel counterintuitive, but I am a trauma therapist, and something that we do is called exposures, okay? And so with an exposure, you, especially if you have like PTSD, you can be avoided. So there's certain things that we expose you to teach your nervous system. I recently had a coaching session, and this is the advice that I gave one of my clients who is anxiously attached. If you're new here, welcome to Heal the New Sexy, where we discuss all things healing, self-love, and relationships. My name is Cynthia, and so I want to talk about why the anxious attached girlies and the avoidant attached girlies need to be outside expeditiously. You need to be dating right now, okay? So, like I told you, I had a coaching session maybe 2 weeks ago, and this is the advice that I gave that client. So I wanted to come on and do a video and share it with you. Nobody really tells us, and I really didn't know this, right? Until I started doing the work that I was doing. It makes sense to avoid anything that makes you feel anxious. It makes sense to avoid anything that makes you feel upset. But what you don't know is that every time you are avoiding something, you're teaching your body that thing truly is dangerous, okay? And if you're anxious attached, right? Every time you go into seclusion and you heal, or if you're avoiding, and every time you try to push someone away, right? You're teaching your body that relationships aren't safe. And so I want to help you with that today, okay? I want you to know that attachment wounds are relational, which means they don't fully heal in isolation. So these wounds have to heal with someone. Now, what I'm not saying, let me not get you, I don't want to be confused. What I'm not saying is, right, because you know women go from relationship to relationship to relationship, but that new information that you need in order to soothe, okay, your nervous system will happen in relationship, whether that's friendship, because some of you, it may not be, you may be okay in romantic relationship, but you have a difficult time in romantic relationships or even in family, okay? So you can't heal the wound in isolation. You can journal, you can pray, you could go to therapy or coaching, right? And still have no idea how regulated you are in intimacy. You're not going to know until you are outside dating. So that's why you need to date right now, okay? Because intimacy is the trigger. Intimacy is a trigger for you. Put that down below. Intimacy is a trigger for me. Closeness is a trigger for me. Trusting a man is a trigger for me. Come on, let's acknowledge it. So guess what? What many women are doing, they're swearing off dating. They're swearing off relationships because intimacy is the trigger. Avoidant women feel healed when no one needs them. Anxious women feel healed when no one can abandon them. So that's why you're by yourself, because you're not giving somebody the opportunity as an anxious woman to abandon you. And as an avoidant woman, you're not giving anyone the opportunity to get close to you. You're pushing them away. That's not healing, that's avoidance. So let's talk about what's actually happening in your nervous system. Anxious attachment isn't about being needy. It's about a nervous system that learned that love equals uncertainty. Love equals inconsistency. So in your past relationships, you may have had men that were hot and they were cold. They were hot and they were cold. And so you just kept fighting and wanting to perform in order for them to get them to be hot again, to get them to be inviting and loving again. And there are some men that are very intentional. They know how to play that game. They lean in and then they pull back. Because they want you to lean in. They want you to chase. So they chase first and pull back. And then when they pull back, they activate your nervous system and then you're pulling forward. Okay? All right? Avoidant attachment isn't about independence. Some of my hyper independent girlies, I'm in recovery, right? Right? Some of my hyper independent girlies, we are independent because we're really avoiding relationships and closeness because people have let you down. You learned very early on, and this is not a true belief, that you couldn't depend on others. So that's how you show up. I remember a man telling me, like, Smithy, you show up like you don't need nobody. And I was like, it's not intentional. It's just what, life. Like like, oops, right? But avoidant attachment isn't about independence. It's about a nervous system that learned closeness equals danger. If you don't date, your nervous system never learns anything new. It stays loyal to old survival patterns. And you may have picked up these patterns from your first relationship or a traumatic relationship or the relationship with your parents. And so these are the patterns that you're traveling through life with. Dating is exposure therapy when done intentionally. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. If you haven't joined the membership, I did a video titled Date That Man Without Giving Him Your Heart. It kind of touches on this. Okay, so you're going to want to join the membership for that and all of the good things that I'm going to put out in the membership. Okay, so I want you to know that healthy dating isn't about finding the one. Many of us went outside and we were just dating for marriage. We didn't have any real skill, or we didn't know what we were doing. And so that led us to making mistakes, and that led to us feeling like just not doing really well at it, okay? So I want you to date differently. Sorry if you hear that, my son on his game, and I told him to be quiet, and these kids, okay, all right. It's about learning to stay regulated in connection. So when you are dating, I want you to push aside the whole notion that this person may be someone who I'm going to have a serious relationship with. Stop looking for this serious relationship and look for how you are showing up, how your body feels, and pay attention to that. Do I feel safe with this person? Am I showing up needy in this relationship? That's going to show you whether or not there's more healing for you to do, but you can't do it in isolation, okay? Oh, Samithia, I don't want to lose a man. Oh, you telling women to come out here and use us? No, that's not what I'm saying. Hear me. But what I'm saying is you cannot heal in isolation, because intimacy is what triggers you. If you need help with that, schedule a coaching call, okay? For anxious women, it's learning that you can feel desire without chasing, that you can feel uncertainty without spiraling, without ruminating, okay? That you don't have to abandon yourself in order to feel chosen, in order to be chosen. For my avoidant girlies, it's learning that closeness doesn't mean loss of freedom, that expressing needs doesn't make you weak, that you can stay present instead of disappearing, that you don't have to remember, what was that movie where she kept running away? Run away bride. She kept running away. They supposed to get married and she running away, right? That's avoidance, okay? That's avoidance. You don't need, right? You don't regulate your system before dating. You regulate it through dating. And that can look different. That may be you going on the dating apps. I'm not a big fan of that, but that may be going on dating apps, or that may be you accepting the coffee date, because you are dating from a different place. You're not dating just because you want a relationship. You're dating because, again, you're trying to teach yourself, right, that you could be in healthy relationship with a person and not engage in these patterns. And let me say this, you are more than your attachment style. Some women are like, Smithy, I'm so anxious attached. This is how you teach yourself. This is how you regulate yourself. Is you gotta go out there and date. And it's about to be warm. I know it's winter time, but it's about to be warm. It's about to be hot outside. And I want you to be outside. I want you to learn, like, not only this, many people allow their past traumas to be the lens in which they date through. I want you to start showing up as your authentic self. I want you to know what you need, want, and desire in relationships so that you can be able to articulate that to your partner. I want you to be able to know a trigger, right? Versus this situation is triggering me versus this is a true threat. Okay. So him not calling you right back may trigger you, but that doesn't mean that he's on the phone and he's talking to someone else or he's building someone else. These are the type of things that you work on while you're dating this way. Okay. So let's talk about the reason why you may wait. Let's be honest. Most women say they're working on themselves, but what you're really doing is avoiding heartbreak. You're avoiding disappointment. You're avoiding frustration. And all of that is present out here in the dating scene. I'm not going to be like people like, there's pee in the dating pool. Because why would I be in the pool with the pee? I'm a lady. I don't want that. No. Okay. And I'm outside. Okay. So you have to realize why you're not going outside. Why you aren't dating. Is it truly because there's no good candidates out there? Or is it because you're being avoidant? What you're doing is you've found a way that works for you. There are many women who are beautiful, great, talented, smart, loving lover girls, but you are holding yourself in a prison because of your nervous system. You don't want anything to kind of rock or steal the peace that you'll have. And I hear you already, Smithy, I'm gonna go outside. This man gonna steal my peace and I'm gonna be right back out inside. No, because the objective is different, okay? The objective is not just this. Many women are dating. I did a video about how men date differently, and I'll put it up here. But many women are dating from the standpoint of, I'm trying to find a husband. I'm trying to find a relationship. You want something long-term versus getting to know the man and then make a decision. Can I be friends with him? Is this someone I really like? And is this someone worth me having a relationship with? And then deciding about whether it's long-term or not. I want you to date for the experience. I want you to date so that you get to learn yourself. That's what I'm saying. And I'm also saying, don't date every man like he's a husband, because he's not. Don't date every man like he's a long-term option, because he's not. And some of the heartbreak that you may have experienced in the past is because you were taking short-term men and trying to make them into a long-term option, and they weren't, okay? You're afraid that if you date now and it doesn't work, it'll confirm your deepest fear that there may have been something wrong with you or that you are unlovable, and that is not the truth. You deserve a love. Okay, you are deserving of a gentle love, a soft love, a understanding love, a safe love. You are deserving of that. All right. But healing isn't about never getting triggered. Healing is about not abandoning yourself when you are. That's what it's about. Okay. So let's talk about how to date without re-traumatizing yourself. This is the key, because I'm not telling you to date recklessly. Dating from regulation, right, looks like a slower pace. For my anxious attached girlies, you know, there's a lot of information about how we should date. Like there should be a commitment within 90 days. That may not be what you want. You may need to take a slower pace. So 6 months may be the sweet spot for you as it relates to commitment. For my anxious attached girlies, 90 days may be too soon for you. 90 days where you be like, whoa, pump your brakes, slow down, okay? So taking time, and I'm gonna create a dating framework, and it's gonna be like a PDF so that you can print it, or it'll be electronic, but you can print it and you can work out. You have to know you are individual. So a lot of dating information is generalized, but you got to take it and see what works for you and what doesn't, okay? So slower pacing, clear standards, observing behavior instead of projecting fantasies. You got to challenge that limerence. You got to challenge that maladaptive daydreaming. You got to challenge those fantasies. You met this man on the Tuesday, if you're a anxious girly, and in your mind you have already planned out the next 15 years, how y'all gonna get married, the kids y'all gonna have, the careers and all of that. You have to stop that, okay? And for my avoidant girlies, you can't meet a man on Tuesday and then Tuesday that afternoon you're like, oh, I can't do this, I don't like him, okay? So, and you have to stop leaving at the first time your nervous system feels unsafe, not excited. Oh, well, sorry, I'm miscommunicating that. You need to leave at the first time your nervous system feels unsafe, not excited, but unsafe, okay? And there's a difference between your nervous system being excited, being triggered, versus you truly being unsafe. And I'm going to do a video because there's something that I want to talk about. I want to talk about manipulation in relationships, because sometimes when you're anxious attached or you're avoidant, you overlook manipulation because you only respond to the big things. But there are subtle things that you should respond to as well that indicate that a man may be unsafe, okay? But we don't need to be interpreting everything that he does as unsafe. If you're an avoidant girly, right? And it's the first date and he goes in to hug you and you're like, don't put your, I don't, right? That doesn't mean that he is moving fast. He may just want to hug, right? And again, it's your body, right? So I'm not telling you to do anything you don't want to do. But sometimes when you have an unregulated nervous system or you've experienced trauma, you misinterpret the behavior of other people and you see everything as threatening, okay? I want you to know that you're not dating to prove worth. You're dating to gather data. Remember, we believe in mutual selection over here. So dating is a choice between two people, okay? Every date is information, not verdict on your value. And many of us were raised that being in a relationship determine our value. And so when how a man behaves, we then interpret it as if it has something to do with us versus that's just his behavior. So again, you're dating about you. We being selfish. You're not dating about him, okay? So listen, my sweet babies, anxious and avoidant women don't need more time alone. You need corrective experiences. You got to go outside and see what it's doing. I live in Atlanta, and I was talking to my girlfriend about I think it's called seersucker and sundresses event that the Omegas throw. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to go. I don't really want to, I don't want to, but I got to go. I got to push myself outside, and you have to push yourself outside too. That is the only way your nervous system is going to know, right? That's the only way you're really going to know if you're healed. If you're like, I'm going to wait till I'm ready to date, that day ain't going to go. That day ain't going to come. And then as soon as a man do something, baby, you're going to be right back outside, right back inside. But I want you to choose you and be intentional in this year about going outside to date and date them all. We're not dating exclusively until we want to be exclusive. Okay. All right. Okay. And let me say something about that too. You don't owe a man exclusivity first when you meet him. So date. And if he has a problem with you dating, that's his problem. All right. Okay. You don't wait until you feel healed to live your life. You live your life and healing follows. It flows. Okay. Your nervous system doesn't need perfection. It just needs practice. If this video resonated with you, please be sure to like this video so YouTube knows that you're interested. If you haven't followed me, I'm asking why not? Because I looked in my demographics and it's like 50% I got 50% casual viewers watching my videos. That means you be watching me. Why you ain't committed to me? Why you shacking up with me? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand. I'm not worth the commitment? Is that what it is? Call Tyler Perry. Tell him I'm ready. All right. Listen. I love you so much. This is Heal and Do Sexy, and I want to hear from you down below. Are you gonna go outside and date, or you say, Smithy, I'm gonna stay in the house a little bit longer?